get another one. I will have a new come. Any man with drug go. Making mommy here. Only any got to let her okay. You mean you come on? Because then that's the go move.
One you come.
One light alone. One alone. Don't tell me read me. Me power. Go for God. I love you. Right for me. I don't know what I'm. On one day I knew. They never you. If I know she come on now. You don't have a mother. I love a mother. They bring them on. Look by job. Save with you. Save with you. Nigeria. I want to know that TV. What's the left? Oh, I didn't give him my bullet. You pay. Give him my bullet. When you see one bed, so one trip, you don't see. That's everybody can be in trouble. Nobody, it's not this easy. Oh, yeah. So I didn't feel a long big happy. So, give me a way of going to give you. I'm going to do this.
Today we're discussing a very, very, very sensitive topic and something which just hits home and something which has affected Africa and more especially Nigeria. We're talking about MOHBAD, our brother MOHBAD. We're talking about his death and we're discussing the lessons that we can learn as young Africans and obviously young upcoming leaders, young upcoming artists, young upcoming rappers, actors, whichever industry you are in, please take a sit back and hope you'll get some insights on what I think about the matter of MOHBAD and the overall thing that's happening in Nigeria. My name is Sanele and I'm just here to share my thoughts, my views, my observations on life, business, what's happening in the world. Please subscribe to the video, guys. So, who MOHBAD is? Oh, before we go into MOHBAD, I just wanna give you where I'm coming from with all this information that I wanna share with you guys. Obviously, it's been weeks, if not. Let me just say it's been a couple of days while this topic and the whole thing is going on in Nigeria. I'm in South Africa. I'm a South African guy. I'm a citizen of South Africa. I'm not from Nigeria. I love my Nigerian brothers and sisters. You understand? I'm not here to talk bad about any Nigerian. I'm not here to talk bad on any artist who I'll mention his or her name. I'm not here to even talk bad about MOHBAD. May his soul rest in peace. Right. So now let's just discuss about how I found out about this whole MOHBAD thing, because I wasn't even following the guy, while he was still alive. I heard one of his songs, talk about me or talk about my story, something that has to do with talking, but one of his songs, right? I was not really a follower of MOHBAD and his songs and his movements and how he came up and all that. But obviously, as a citizen of Africa, as an African guy, I get to talk to a lot of different people from Nigeria, from Somalia, from Ghana, from Congo, and I come and share my thoughts, my views, and my observations with you guys. And it so happened that I got the information about MOHBAD and everything that's happening back in Nigeria, and I started digging deep, I started going deep into finding out who the guy is, We're more of the same age with him. Don't mind my hair and all that, but we're more of the same age because he was 27. I'm also in that in that space. Right. So I started doing some research and trying to find out who the guy is. And apparently for me, after researching and after finding out, for me, he was one of the top, I can say top 3 in Nigeria, in the music industry, He was doing very, 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 very well. Now, when it was coming up, you can do your own research, and obviously you can, I'll put, the guys somewhere here, or maybe down, so that you can just get to see who the guy really is. And obviously you can also go do your own research. MOHBAD was signed by what you call Naira Marley. Naira Marley is one of the guys who are running, big entertainments or studios or or recording labels in Nigeria. If you are from Nigeria, you know who Naira Marley is. Naira Marley signed what you call MOHBAD into his record label. So Listen, guys. So listen, guys, so that you can get to know how Mohbad died, and why all this thing is taking place in Nigeria and all that. I might be wrong. You understand? Because I'm not from Nigeria, but this is what I got. Because I spent like several days trying to find out what's really happening and what's behind all this. And you can even watch. I'll share some of these videos here, man, so that you can watch what's happening in Nigeria, and just observe, and you can also take some lessons from this whole thing. So when Mohbad signed a contract under a Mali Records, right, everything started going well, taking out songs, he was like going tops, Then apparently, what happened in music industry, even here in South Africa, we have, I don't want to mention names, but we have one of the labels, where MT is coming from. We have the label where people like, as I mentioned, MT, who else, Intabase Tupai. We have a couple of guys who have been going through some of these things here, where the label will do a lot of things, to artists. But this one for Mohbad was way tricky. And it was way, it was more like a gangster thing, you understand? So, remember, he signed a contract under Mali Records, right? Taking out music, releasing albums and all that. We don't know what was in a contract. Then apparently the guy wanted to change managers. He wanted to change his manager under the same record label, right? He wanted to change his manager to somebody else. Now, obviously, Naira Marley wasn't happy because the manager that was managing Mohbad, obviously, they were close friends, right? So Naira Marley wasn't happy with that. And it so happened that the guy, Mohbad, had to leave the record label. Okay, now I'm pulling out of the record label. So what happens? Remember, we don't know what's going on under the contracts. You understand? So when the guy leaves the contract, I'll give you a scenario. If you remember what happened to MT, when MT left the label, they took all his cars, house, and all that. They even tried to tarnish his name. It was a very sad thing for the guy, hustler. I respect you wherever you are, my man. You understand? It was a very sad thing for MT to go through, right? So now back to Mohbad's story. A similar thing happened, the label came after him. I don't want to say Naira Marley came after him, but from what I was observing, Naira Marley, I don't know, right? I don't know the beef between them, but obviously the label was after Mohbad. Now again, I'll give you some insights. While Mohbad was still coming up as an artist and signing the contract under Mali Records, he was staying in a house with Naira Marley, with the family of Naira Marley, his wife, Mohbad's wife. Before, obviously, the wife wasn't a wife, obviously, it was like maybe somebody else's girlfriend, and it so happened that she became a girlfriend of Mohbad, and they actually had to get married because obviously the guy was too in love. You understand? And that's a thing, guys. Be careful of who you get married to. Be very careful of who you get married to. Please, man, stay tuned because this video will be a bit long, right? So we are going to discuss about the wife of Mohbad, right? We are going to discuss about the wife of Mohbad, right? Right. So while they were still staying in that house, right? A lot of guys used to come in and out of the wife of Mohbad before they got married. So obviously Mohbad won her heart and they ended up getting married. While in that same house, there's a guy called Sam Larry, right? I'm mentioning all these names here because obviously this is the information that's out there, so obviously nobody will come after me, it's information which is out there, right? So Sam Larry was also in that same house, right? I don't want to go deep into the child and whose child is that, but Sam Larry was in that same house, according to the information that I got while I was doing my research and talking to the guys in Nigeria, or from Nigeria, right? So now I already listed, I told you guys about Mohbad. Obviously I cannot tell you when he was born and all that. Just know that he died when he was 27 years. He died in Lagos and they said it was an ear infection. Nobody knows about that, right? That's how he died. But we're not there. We're just discussing what's happened and the lessons that we can take from all this thing here. And I'll even talk to the youth of Nigeria and the government of Nigeria. Please stay tuned, guys, and please subscribe to the channel. Oh, by the way, there are a lot of people who are coming out now. They're saying what you call justice for MOHBAD and all that. I'm not here for justice and all that. I'm just here to share my observation, what I learned from this whole thing that's going on in Nigeria, and what you can also learn. I'm not here to say justice because I don't really know the true story. Nobody knows the true story besides the guy who's late, the wife, and Samlari and Ramali, and all obviously those guys who, I'll put a video also. When MOHBAD was declared dead, it was somebody in the video. Watch the videos, guys. It's something. I'm laughing because it's something which was like a movie. If you've ever watched a movie, those Nigerian movies. If you've ever watched a Nigerian movie, it was a similar thing, well thoughted. Well, I don't want to say it was well planned, but well executed. It was a very, very well executed death. Whether God was the author or the writer of the death, I don't know. Guys from Nigeria, please help me in the comments about the death of MOHBAD. What do you think about the whole thing? But my lesson is here. Remember, guys, back to the story now. When MOHBAD was still under the same roof, under Mali Record and that's how, then he left. Once an artist leaves or resigns from a label, very nasty things, dangerous things that will depress one. Artists do go under depression. Back to MC. MC was very depressed. We saw a lot of things happening to him. So MOHBAD was going through a lot of depressions. If you go watch his videos, if you go listen to him, he wanted people to help him, but nobody reached out, And this is another lesson, guys. Whenever you are going through something, don't trust your phone. Don't trust the camera of your phone and start speaking up here and be like, hey, I'm depressed. Go to the people who are, I wouldn't say closer to you, but go to the elders of your community. Go to people who are, maybe like go to a principal of your local school. Maybe go to a counselor of your local school. If you have like those leaders, if you stay like in a rural area, we call them Induna. Go to them. Go to Inkosi. Go to your local leaders and speak your truths there. It's very different when you speak to somebody face to face than coming here and speaking your truths here on the phone. So MOHBAD was more on the phone and social media. Instead, he had his local people in Lagos. The leaders now are coming out from Nigeria and they're saying, hey, justice for MOHBAD. The leaders and the youth now, because he had the influence in the youth. He was so influential with his music. You understand? So now people are coming up and saying justice, but now the guy was when he was still on social media, TikTok, YouTube, and all that, when he was still telling us about that. Unfortunately, as I said, I just got in deeply obsessed and deeply immersed with finding out what's happening in Nigeria about the guy, MOHBAD, just like recently. So that's when I got to see that, hey, he was speaking. Even his songs, if you listen to his songs, he was talking in his songs. If you listen to the lyrics, you'll hear that the guy was dying inside. He knew that there's something coming up for him. He knew. But obviously some people, and I wouldn't say Nigerians per se, I mean like his community was not listening. His community wasn't listening. That's a lesson, guys. If you're really going through something, I'll say even if you cannot pay, those consultants that will help you, with your mentality and all that, just go to any church leader and start speaking to them. At least something will come out from yourself. You understand? Back to MOHBAD's story now. So he left the label and things started going bad. Whenever he'll be shooting a video, if he's shooting a video, I saw a clip. I saw a clip where he was shooting a music video and somebody came in, and it so happened that guy who came in while they were shooting is Samlari's friend and obviously Naira Marley's friend, and they disturbed the whole thing. He was going through a lot of things, and sometimes he'll get abused physically, mentally. he ended up going through some really, real depression stuff. You know, he wanted to commit suicide and the wife was there in a room and they stopped him. It was a lot of things, guys. Even Naira Marley, you know, the thing with Naira Marley's story, if you go and dig and see the videos that Naira Marley was doing, he was kind of there for the guy, you know, trying to help him out, you know, trying to tell him, hey, I'm with you, nigga. I got you when you had nothing. I understand you left the label, but hey, come on, man, don't try to kill yourself. Because at some point, MOHBAD made a video saying that if anything happens to him, people should go to Naira Marley. And he even made a video saying that if his wife tried to kill him or whatever, you know. So those are all signs of going through some real depression and you want to take your own life, you understand? And I don't know how Naira Marley, the relationship between him and Naira Marley, I don't know. I really don't know what's going on, because obviously Naira Marley is also in the picture, you know, of people who might have a hand. Because obviously it's said that as of now Naira Marley is in Nigeria and Sam Larry also. And you guys might be hearing me saying Sam Larry, but I'm not saying anything about Sam Larry. Here's how Sam Larry is coming into the picture. Remember I told you guys that MOHBAD was staying in a house under Marley Records, you know, and they were all there. You know how artists will share a beautiful house, you know, I mentioned and all that. So how Sam Larry is coming in the picture is, he was also in the same house with Naira Marley and MOHBAD and other artists, you know. And the wife of MOHBAD was also there. Apparently, please highlight this and please understand what I'm trying to tell you guys. Apparently, from what I have researched and heard, it is said that the wife of MOHBAD, before they got married, you know, she was like, you know, the kind of a girl who in the house will be like involved with different men. No disrespect to you, ma'am. So it so happened that Sam Larry was one of those lucky guys who had a taste of her, right? And according to the guys who have seen the DNA test which was done in Dubai, I'm pretty not sure if the current DNA test that people are saying is going to be done, the results that came out. But obviously there was a DNA test which was done secretly. Hey, but this is classified information, classified information that I'm sharing with you guys. A DNA was done secretly between Naira Marley, even Sam Larry was there, MOHBAD was there, the wife of MOHBAD was there, some friends were there in Dubai. So they find it out that the wife was pregnant, you know, the child of the wife of MOHBAD had a child, right? So the child actually belongs to Sam Larry. That's where Sam Larry is coming in. And people are saying that there might be some things that Sam Larry wanna inherits, you know, through his son. Because obviously, on paper, it's saying that the child belongs to MOHBAD. MOHBAD is the father of the child. But secretly, they know that the child belongs to Sam Larry. So it so happened that MOHBAD dies, the child will inherit everything. Then obviously, Sam Larry being the father, at some point is going to benefit. 1 second, guys, 1 second. You understand? He's going to benefit. It's a very, very tricky thing that's going on in Nigeria, guys. In Nigeria, you understand? And I might not cover everything because there are thousands and thousands of videos talking about this. I just wanted to come here and share with you guys my observations, my thoughts, and obviously talk to people from Nigeria. Right now, let's jump into people from Nigeria now, more especially the youth of Nigeria. So guys, you are my age mates. You might be a bit older than me or younger than me. What do we do in this kind of instant? Do we go out there and be like, hey, we're throwing stones now at the government? Because this thing here happened in a government hospital. The guy died in a government hospital, and there was a nurse. Apparently, the nurse is said to be a friend of MOHBAD'S wife. Imagine that. The nurse that injected MOHBAD with whatever injection, she is a friend of MOHBAD'S wife. Apparently, that's what people are saying. And the guy dies. Read between the lines. I mean, it's a very, very tricky thing, guys. It's a very, very tricky thing. Guys, be very, very careful who you bring into your life and trying to build something with, more especially you when you're choosing a partner. So, this thing happened in a government hospital where in Nigeria, right, in Lagos. So what do we say? I mean, I'm here in MOHBAD'S in South Africa, right? For those of you guys who are watching from out of South Africa, let's say something happens and a well-known artist here in South Africa just dies and in a public government hospital. So what do we say? And you telling us it was an ear infection. Do we take it and be like, oh, okay? I'm telling you right now, I know my people, yeah, they'll just go and ban the shit out. They'll go and ban it out. I'm not here and trying to support, and trying to support that act. And I'm all about peace, guys. I'm all about peace. That's why I'm like, what do we do now as Nigerian youth? The first thing that we need to do is we really, really need to ask for, seeking justice for MOHBAD is good. But now, what's the solution? Because this is not the first case. I was listening to a podcast from this guy called, what they call him? The real black something guy, man. Please remind me in the comments. He said at some point he had to take somebody that he met in the streets. He was stabbed and he wanted to take him to a government hospital in Nigeria, right? And the nurses in Nigeria, they said they cannot treat that person. Apparently it was a him. They cannot treat him because they don't have a police letter. Is it a police affidavit or a police letter saying that they can treat him? It was my first time hearing that in Nigeria, if somebody has to want access to hospital facilities, they must have like a police letter. I mean, if something happens to me right now and I have to be rushed to hospital, do we have time to go to the police station and ask for a letter so that I can be treated? So that's the first thing that the youth of Nigeria needs to look at. Government, the police, and the youth, they need to sit down and be like, okay, guys, our health system is not really functioning well. We have seen it, and now this thing of MOHBAD is a testimony. This thing of MOHBAD, how it's all unfolded and happened right in front of the hospital, right inside the facilities of the hospital. That's a proof that our health system is not correct, guys. So as a youth, we're saying, come on, we're studying. Nigerians are very, very smart. Nigerians, they are well educated. Well educated. I know for a fact that Nigerians are well educated. You understand? They have nurses, they have professional doctors. Everything can be done professional in Nigeria. If they can include the youth. We're having the same issue here in South Africa. Right? Just imagine if a young, passionate nurse, professional doctor received, received MOHBAD in their hands. Well, they're not going to try their best to make sure that the guy, we're saving the guy's life. They were going to make sure that we're saving the guy's life because he's influential. People in Nigeria love him. People in Nigeria, they love him. People in Africa love him. I personally, right now, I love his songs, man. I love his songs. People out of Africa love the guy. Obviously the record label closed some doors for him, but people loved him because he was coming up on his own now. You understand? So just include, the youth. You understand? And don't go out there, guys, and start banning things. I know a lot of things are happening. They started digging the guy up from the grave because they want to do postmortems and all that shit. I don't know the names, what they want to do with his body. The guy is gone, it's gone. Here's another thing that pissed me off. Sorry, man, excuse my language. A well-known artist in my area, even if he's not well-known now, he's playing in radios, playing, in commercial, If the guy is still underground, trust me, in my area, if we know that the guy, he's a top, he's a top G in whatever he's doing. If he dies, we give him some respect. We do some ceremony. We do some service. We call a community so that we can make a prayer for him together. You understand? That's an underground artist. Now we're talking about big artists now. The guy's like AKA when he died. It was the way that he was taken home, you know, meaning how he was buried. It was so peaceful, you know. Everybody knew that, okay, on this day, yeah, it will be AKA's funeral. You understand? When a guy like who else can I mention? I just forgot his name, man. But when a well-known artist leaves this world, yeah, we obviously, like Mampinja, you know, those guys who are following Mampinja and all that, Asbam Big, you understand? You know, KZN was mourning, and the guy was like, he received a well-organized funeral. Now, we're talking about MOHBAD now. MOHBAD'S case, everything was like, bah, 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 bah. Died today, your father, his father, he wanted to bury him on the same night. Like, I died today, midnight, I have to be buried. Bah, bah, bah. Now, here's the funny thing. If you watch my videos, guys, please subscribe. If you watch my videos at this moment, you know that I'm a Muslim. As a Muslim, if you die, like, let's say I die now in the afternoon, depending on how my family want to do things, they can bury me at night, they can bury me tomorrow, or they can bury me, tomorrow is Monday, they can bury me on Tuesday. You know, you are given a minimum of 3 days to get buried. You understand? If you are an Islamic scholar, please, like, correct me, but at least you are given a minimum of 3 days to have your spouse, your family member with you guys for the last time before you put him in a graveyard. MOHBAD was not a Muslim. His father, no Muslim. But they want to bury him like, pa, 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 pa. Come on, guys. There was something behind. You know, remember everything I said about Samdari, the record label, and apparently, it is said that the label Naira Marley owed MOHBAD something like 3 million naira. I don't know if it's naira or dollars, but like a lot of money that Naira Marley had to pay to this guy here. So now you have Naira Marley, the guy, I bring you into my label, you leave my label, and I end up owing you money. I can't be like one day, you know what, if I can take this guy out of this picture here, because he's going to places now, he's still young, the guy is energetic, people love him. What if I can just take him out and people are like, and we bury him same day, and I give a chunk of money to his father, because apparently the father was also given some money by some people who are close to Sam Larry, his wife, and Naira Marley. Be careful, guys, of your family. They might be laughing with you. And once you see that the family member is very jealous of you, I mean, you might as well just relocate to another place. Or just have a sit down and be like, hey, what's going on, man? There's negative energy between us. You know, address the issue. You understand? This thing of MOHBAD, guys, it's very, very deep. And as I said, it was a very, very well-scripted, well-organized, well-executed death. And if God was the writer of that scripture, I'm saying, I respect you, God. I respect you, God. But from what I know is that God will never do such, man. God will never allow. Yes, everything is in the hands of Him, you know, the Creator. I understand that. Whenever you want to take a life, He can take it. And whenever He can see that the life is a bit shaking, you know, because MOHBAD's life was a bit shaking. Maybe He wanted to protect him and use the same people to, like, take him back home. You understand? Now I'm being kind of religious here and stuff, but, oh man, this was one of those movies which really, really took place. And a lot of people were hurt. Nigerians are hurt. The music industry in Nigeria is hurt. But more especially the fans of MOHBAD are hurt. They are hurt. Because they don't know what happened. There was no clear signs of, like, this is going to happen. At least, man, give me some signs, you know, come to me. Oh, but there were signs. Apologies, there were signs. The guy was being abused. You know, you're doing a music video, somebody comes in and they, like, disturb you, and they're trying to hit you, and and sometimes they'll even like confront him, and you know, like, there was a lot of things happening to MOHBAD Bafeso. If he was part of a gang, let's say MOHBAD was part of a gang, Because those things happen when you find your own gang ganging against you. So now you become a gang that has a gang which is ganging against you. You know how fucked up that is? For South Africa, for Nigeria. Come on, guys, let us unite. I'm all about uniting. Let us pray for Nigeria, right? Let us pray for Nigeria. And to all these prophets now, Nigerian prophets who are coming out now, and they're making videos, and they're like, hey, I prophesied this. And they said, hey, this is a sign. And they're like, hey, ta-ta-ta-ta-ta-ta. Because they want to sell their products. They wanna recruit people to their own churches. I mean, Buffett, so let us stop doing this. Please, let us stop doing that and try and come with solutions and ask for justice. I love how some of these bloggers and YouTubers and content creators are pushing the message out there, like pushing pressure. They're like pushing pressure. I mean, they're putting pressure into the police of Nigeria so that there can be justice done for MOHBAD, and there has to be justice done for MOHBAD. Other than that, guys, my name is Sanele. If you like the video, if you don't like the video, you disagree, please comment. Please subscribe to the channel and let us share the message and let us push Nigerian police and Nigerian government to make action and take action and bring people who were part of this thing here into custody. The wife has to be asked questions. How does the wife and the nurse know each other? There has to be asked questions, The father of Nairamale, the father of MOHBAD has to be asked questions. You guys from Nigeria, you know why I'm saying this. The father has to be asked questions. Nairamale has to be asked questions. Samlari has to be asked questions. And those boys, the boys who declared him dead, because obviously I got introduced to this thing here when it was, being hyped and all that, but I spent time watching videos. Those 2 or 3 boys, if I'm not mistaken, it was 2 boys that they were with MOHBAD before he died. Those 2 boys have to be called. If not yet, if they have been called, make them talk, guys. I mean, the law at some point has to be broken, just like how they broke his neck when they were putting him in a coffin. So break the law so that these guys here can talk. What I mean by that is, use a shambok. Use a shambok. I'm telling you, at some point you'll be pushed as a government worker or make them talk, guys. Make them talk. They have to talk. People have to talk because they know what happened. Having said that, guys, please subscribe to the video. MOHBAD, rest in peace, man. We'll push your music. Justice for him. May his soul rest in peace. We know what happened wasn't like peaceful, and he didn't leave this world in peace, but I wish somebody had listened. I wish somebody had listened. Just like how you're watching this video here and you're listening, and hopefully you'll take an action of subscribing and commenting. I wish you did the same when MOHBAD was still talking in his videos and his social media. I wish you reached out to him. I mean, I know there are certain people who tried to reach out to him. But when God says it's time. Ours is just to make sure that we find people who did that. Having said that, guys, peace. I'll see you in another video. Thank you.